All right, so we in here. The Shock Exchange, of course. So this is Trump and the G. You know what we do here. This is Governor Gavin Newsom chastises blacks over failed reparations bill. And there's been a lot of chatter coming out of California about reparations for blacks in the state of California, and the bill has been getting a lot of traction. It's supposed to be such a monumental bill, a monumental event, and I know that the commission worked pretty hard on the bill, and it apparently came to a head. At least partially, we got a read from the state legislature in California that the bill in its current form will not work. At least it wasn't approved. And a lot of African Americans were upset about it. They were protesting, outside the, I guess, some of the legislature's offices, and they were chanting and what have you. They were voicing their concern and how upset they were. And Governor Gavin Newsom, who comes across as very progressive, to even entertain the concept of reparations for blacks, appears progressive. But he came out and he gave his take on the reparations bill, and he chastised blacks for complaining about the failed bill and complaining about members of the Black Caucus out there for not approving it in its current form. So this is what he had to say.
What did you know about
administrators?
hold on, while we're on this subject of bills, I just want to know, what did you know about bills not being brought to the floor? There were two critical reparation bills, Senate Bill 1403 and Senate Bill 1331.
Forgive me, because there's over 1,000. I'm not very good at the numeric, but
Agency.
yeah, I know a little bit about that. What I do know is
you had added some to Bradford's desk on August 26th.
as it relates, well, hold on. We work with the legislature throughout the legislative process on amendments. Sometimes they advance those amendments, sometimes they don't take our amendments, and those bills are sent to my desk. I think you're referencing bills that were not sent to my desk that did not pass through the legislature. As it relates to the broader issue of reparations, which I appreciate both of you referencing, we work very closely with the Black Caucus on a package of reparations reforms. We met before the legislative session, we met during the legislative session. We worked very collaboratively on amendments. We also worked on bills without amendments. And I think the vast majority of those that we agreed to and worked collaboratively together with the Black Caucus have ended up on my desk. I'll be reviewing them all on the merits. And I want to applaud the head of the Black Caucus, Lori Wilson, who's been spectacular in advancing those bills, their principles, and advancing them in a collaborative spirit.
Much under fire about those two critical bills that did not make it to your desk.
Well, those bills, you'll have to ask them, the legislature, why those didn't land on my desk.
Did you tell the Black Caucus that you would veto the reparations agency and reparations fund bill?
I didn't talk directly to anyone about those two bills. As it relates to the process of how bills are done broadly in the state, there's a collaborative process. People ask our opinions. Are there concerns? Issues that have dollar figures are consistently marked, consistently. If it wasn't done in the budget, that's going to be a challenge. There's always exceptions to that, but that's going to be a challenge. And that was a process that unfolded over the course, as I said, of months, particularly as it relates to the reparations package in partnership with the Black Caucus. And there was no daylight with Lori Wilson and the Black Caucus as it relates to the work that we did collaboratively together. And let me just, on a personal note, and forgive me about this, she did not deserve to be attacked like she was attacked. Members of the Black Caucus did not deserve to be attacked and their integrity impugned. That was disgraceful. There were members of that Black Caucus that are owed an apology for being treated the way they were treated, to be doxxed, to be personally maligned and attacked. So forgive me for expressing that. Great respect and admiration for the leadership of the Black Caucus and members of the Black Caucus.
Okay, so he's basically chastising blacks for their disdain for the Black Caucus, their outrage over the bill not being passed, and for apparently doxing members of the Black Caucus. The one thing that, first of all, I don't know what it takes to get a bill passed in the state legislature in California or any other state for that matter. I mean, well, I know about the process for getting a bill passed. I probably got from Schoolhouse Rock back in the day, where they walked through the arduous process of how a bill gets passed in Congress. And so how to get a bill passed in the state of California seems kind of murky. And secondly, I don't know how the process works. And I think to get the reparations bill passed, one would have to know the process. Secondly, what gave me pause was that on this process was that I knew more about the commission than I knew about the people who would actually sign off on the bill. Usually these bills, to get a bill passed, somebody has to benefit from it politically. Somebody has to champion it, whether it's a member of the Black Caucus or somebody else, and somebody has to benefit from it. Politicians have to benefit from these bills that, where they either put their name on it or they benefit politically. That they have to champion and get behind it. And we know who did the work. We know the commission did the work, and then handed it off to members of the state legislature, and those members have to champion that bill, and they should be the one. I was anticipating that they would be the ones speaking publicly about the reparations bill that they signed off and that they helped craft. That they would be the ones publicly talking about it, whether it's in the corporate media. Not that they haven't been doing it locally, but if a bill this sort of transformational and historic bill gets passed, I would expect a member of the Black Caucus or several members to champion it. And I hadn't heard that. And I think there's some chatter coming out that people are being petty, that enough people, the right person wasn't getting credit, enough people weren't getting credit for the bill, what have you. And that it was held up by maybe one or two people who felt that certain members would get more credit than others or what have you. But I think this is really maybe the first round. If it gets resurfaced, I would imagine that hopefully people, members of the commission would get several members of the Black Caucus to champion the bill and make sure that they know they're going to benefit politically, and then for the governor to sign off on it, that he's going to benefit politically for something like this. So that's basically where we are. The governor's chastising blacks for their outrage, and that members of the Black Caucus shouldn't have been doxxed and shouldn't have had their reputation impugned. He's also talking about the process. It seems to me he's signaling to members of the community that about how the process works, and maybe get more involved with the process of bringing these bills, getting these bills passed in the state legislature. So that's where we are. So it seemed like a first salvo, and there may be more. I'm guessing there's more opportunities to have the bill resurfaced and have the right people sign off on it before it reaches the governor's desk. So that's Governor Gavin Newsom chastises blacks over failed reparations bill. Thank you for listening. Thank you.